is the culture-specific phenomenon through which all sorts of aspects of life, from people and bodies to concepts and characteristics, come to be thought of as masculine and/or feminine. Gender serves as a basis of norms, beliefs, and behaviors. Along with other social systems like race, class, and ability, gender creates power structures within cultures. Typically, these power structures benefit masculinity and men in conformity to specific norms of gender. On the flip side, these gender-based power structures often devalue, punish, and erase femininity, women, and nonconformity to gendered expectations.
Gender-based violence refers to harmful acts directed at an individual based on their gender. Gender-based violence is a serious violation of human rights and a life-threatening health and protection issue. It is estimated that 1 in 3 women will experience physical or sexual violence in their lifetime. During displacement and times of crisis, the threat of gender-based violence significantly increases for women and girls.
Gender-based violence is any act that results in or is likely to result in physical, sexual, or psychological harm or suffering to women. This includes threats of violence, coercion, or arbitrary deprivation of liberty, whether occurring in public or private. Violence against women is a violation of women's human rights, a cause and consequence of gender inequality, and a major cause of women's ill health.
It is a detriment to their well-being, very often a crime, and a significant cost to the resources of the wider society. As a consequence, there are policy issues across the whole range of subjects that concern governments. These issues are particularly more important in the area of crime, health, family, education, and economic well-being.
Gender-based violence happens in a context, not in a vacuum. In order to confront and counter it, one must acknowledge the overlapping and intersecting aspects of a person's social and political identities, including, for example, gender, race, economic class, sexual orientation, religion, disability, physical appearance, etc., and the surrounding cultural, institutional, and geopolitical circumstances which together impact experiences of marginalization, discrimination, and privilege.
Gender-based violence takes place every day, many times over, in every part of the world. It is a threat to women of all ages and backgrounds.
Gender-based violence can be manifested on many levels. It can be private or public, individual or systematic, and relational between people that know each other or between strangers. It can be a one-time incident or constant. There are different types of gender-based violence. However, these categories often overlap or a result of or a cause of each other. Gender-based violence exists in, but is not limited to, the following forms.
Psychological violence is any act that attempts to hurt the integrity and dignity of another person. It can be manifested through isolation, confinement, or neglect, withholding information, disinformation, threatening behavior, or intimidation or exclusion from certain group activities.
Verbal violence is regular and systematic sayings or expressions that attack someone's emotionally sensitive areas. It can be manifested through put-downs, ridiculing, swear words, nicknames, jokes, gossip, insults, and threats. Comments are relevant to the victim's background, such as their religion, culture, language, sexual orientation, or traditions. Hate speech that aims to humiliate, denigrate, or dehumanize a person, which can take any of the previously mentioned forms, and others such as videos, pictures, or memes on social media.
Physical violence is any act that attempts to cause or result in pain and physical injury. It can be manifested through beating, burning, kicking, punching, biting, or maiming, using objects to inflict pain, torture, human trafficking, slavery, honor killing, or femicide.
Sexual violence is any act that forces or manipulates a person into unwanted sexual activity without their consent. It can be manifested through sexual harassment, rape or sexual assault, child sexual assault and incest, intimate partner sexual assault or marital rape, unwanted sexual contact or touching, watching someone in a private act without their knowledge and permission, masturbating or showing one's naked body to others without consent, abuse related to reproduction such as forced pregnancy, forced abortion, forced sterilization, or female genital mutilation. Sexual violence can also be a weapon of war and torture.
Socioeconomic violent actions often make women more economically vulnerable than men. So socioeconomic violence can include exclusion from financial decision-making, taking away someone's earnings, not allowing someone to have separate income, making someone unfit for work through physical abuse, for example, or by not allowing someone to receive an education, have a job, or have access to necessary services.
Microaggressions are verbal and nonverbal behaviors that communicate negative, hostile, and derogatory messages to people based on their gender. These occur in everyday interactions, can be intentional or unintentional, and are often unacknowledged. These include using sexist language, sexual objectification, which means treating another as solely an object of sexual desire, assuming another's inferiority, restricting gender roles, denying reality of sexism, denying one's own sexism, or making another invisible. Microaggressions are also a result of environmental invalidations, which are macro-level aggressions that happen on a systematic level, like unequal pay or media images.